Something. Testing A, B, C, D, E.
Okay, now my microphone audio is coming through. So we've got headphone speakers, and we've got the game audio coming through as well. Okay, I think that's all the audio bases covered. Everything should be working.
All right, so we should start talking about war in the Middle East. No, I'm just kidding.
Good lord.
Uh-oh, now I've got a bitrate error. See, this is live streaming in a nutshell.
See? No, that's just like the AI heard that and started to cancel us. No.
All right, where's this bitrate error coming from? I need to go.
What kind of internet do you have?
I've got high-speed internet, so it's probably a setting. Yeah, fiber. It's probably a setting in OBS somewhere that's not correct. I just need to chase it down now. Should have been on.
What do you do for a living?
I don't do anything right now. I've been unemployed for a year.
Is that by choice or?
No.
Oh,
well,
sorry, man.
Initially it was that contractor I left. The hours got so awful that I ended up having a panic attack and needing to quit. And then I spent a couple months trying to find work. Worked for a defense contractor for a couple months, and then they just called me in one day and said, "Yeah, it's not going to work out. Get out." And then I spent the next 6 months looking for work. Basically, the entire balance of my unemployment, sending out applications, getting nothing back. And that's where I'm at right now.
Sorry to hear, man. I've been talking to a bunch of people who are in the same situation. Sorry to hear.
Well, I went to school and got a bachelor's degree in business administration. And then I got a minor in IT. The problem that I'm having is all the entry-level jobs that I would normally apply for. Like I graduated right during the pandemic, which is how I ended up back at that contractor for a while, which I'm not really complaining about them. I mean, they're not trying to they've just got a particular way of doing things and I just burned out. But what ended up happening is I graduated into the pandemic and all of the jobs that I wanted to apply for evaporated because nobody wanted to hire in that environment. So I wrote it out doing the same thing I was doing to pay for college for another year and a half. And when I popped back up on the market to look for jobs, it was the Bidenomics recession, I guess is the best term I've got to call it at this point. And all of the jobs that I would be applying for, they all suddenly require 5 years of experience.
Experience when you're
that's
always been a joke for years.
Yeah, that's the joke. So I put
entry level needs 8 years experience.
Well, that's exactly what they did though. See, when I was working for that contractor, man. After they let me go, they put my position back up. Only instead of a 5-year minimum, now it had an 8-year minimum. So
that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
what up, Mando?
What up? What is it, gentlemen?
We're just getting things rolling here. I'm having some technical difficulties trying to stream. I just finished chasing down the bitrate issue. And
well, you have a degree in IT, so that's why I was going to offer my services. I'm a tech guy, so yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's assess what he does. Okay, he does tech. Okay, don't need to tell him anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not that great at it.
Time out. Is it connected to power?
Did you turn it off and turn it back on again? Fuck you.
All right.
Have you gotten the most recent update?
Oh, okay, I can see Dredge and Shadow is not okay. I'm mixing people up, I guess. I thought Dredge and Shadow was in the chat with us, but he's not.
Sadly enough, a lot of those simple tasks that we're joking about, those really do help.
No, yeah. I agree 100%.
It's fucking stupid how many things.
And I've seen it. I've had it happen before where some dude's like, nothing works. I don't know why the fuck it doesn't work. And then it's like, dude, it's not even connected to power. Yeah. Well, that's just stupid. But
I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. My dad's business partner was one of the most genius dudes ever, right? And he sent him to this like big, huge project to solve this complex problem, but it was actually a really simple one. But the problem was the guy, he just thought it was like the craziest, hardest, crazy complex thing, but it was actually just a loose cable, you know? Like he just forgot to go back to simple.
Yeah, I did a little bit of light IT stuff when I was working for that contractor, but they actually had a guy with 10 years of experience in the industry who was their that like chief technical officer that did most of the work. I'd basically just jump in on stuff with him when he needed a little extra help.
Yeah, we always need a little extra help. In most industries, IT is like the guy that the company doesn't see as a money-making arm of the business. So it's really weird. Like growing up when I first started in the tech world, they like certain industries would treat you like crap, like just like you're the help kind of deal. Like it was weird. And then other industries know that you're so vital to them making money that they treat you very well. And then I got into startups in the tech world, completely different world. And then now I'm like, you know, I have like nap rooms and fucking beers on tap. Sorry, beers on tap and all of that good stuff. You know, it's just completely different than when I started in that industry.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience in counterintelligence.
You worked
And,
counter intel?
Not a bit. I worked. Okay, so I think my official classification was civilian specialist in psychology for the GLAB project, which is the Give All Veterans Better Lives project.
Ah.
So that was everything
Awesome,
from
man.
psychology to counterintelligence to games theory, prediction analyst, all that stuff.
Game theory. Okay.
Basically,
That's
who would
cool.
make a good leader, and who would not.
What
like
rating or scale system did you use for that?
That I don't think I can say, but basically, if you
They
look,
have their own. They're not using any of the generics, which I hope.
no,
Oh, thank
they are
God.
using their
Okay,
own.
good.
They're using
Good.
we had our own. I get what's it called, intellectual. It's their own intellectual property that apparently they came up with. I don't. If you looked at some of the things it was asking, I really don't want to know how the government came up with it. I really don't. And when they told me and they told us, you know, don't really talk about it, I'm just gonna do what they said.
Yeah.
But
I would
it's
do
essentially
exactly that.
to figure out what's a good leader and who won't be, um, who's someone to keep an eye on for problem elements, that kind of thing.
That's really cool.
And because you know you're putting people in charge of gigantic weapons that can blow up the earth, you know, or blow up a city. So I get it.
So Stan, you could be like really rich just going to corporations and assessing people because you'd be like the Stans.
Yeah, but he would have to disclose how he knows that information. That's the problem.
And going back to the conversation, going back to what like the whole IT thing, no one actually understands how important basically intelligence services are, even real life or otherwise. It's if you didn't catch something or if you didn't fix something, if you're in IT, you know, it's why do we pay you? If you do catch something,
Oh God, that's my favorite saying. You're saying my favorite saying. Oh my God, everything's working. Why do I pay them? Everything's
and then
broken. Why the
yeah,
fuck do I pay
there
them?
it is. It's the same. It's the same thing, and I that we got that a lot too.
Yeah, I bet you do. It's so fucking frustrating because the guys who you're sitting there wondering everything's working, they're being able to be lazy and innovate. That's where you need to be. It's like that's what I say to almost anybody who tries to hire me. I was like, do you have a budget to get us to a place where we can be proactive and not always reactive? Because if we're always reactive, you're just going to look at us like we're useless all the time, and that's usually budget and not staffing and inadequate things.
Wow.
Yeah, I digress. Sorry.
Well, no, I've been there before. That was one of the issues they had at that contractor is that things kind of always were in a state of perpetual crisis mode until the season ended, and then everybody basically just took vacations to decompress. And like it's like some companies have this rush culture, and there's not really a way to get them out of it. They're just kind of in that mode, and
Rush to wait. It's all over.
Yep.
yeah.
Hurry up and wait.
Then death by meeting is another thing that's like in large corporations that I think is the dumbest thing ever. Like most humans' attention span isn't more than 20 minutes.
So there were some really interesting LinkedIn posts I've read of people like that they basically social media tweet out their lives on LinkedIn, and there was an intern
Why
who's
would you do that?
I don't know, but they're not like giving away confidential information or anything, but they're basically saying, oh, here's a typical day in my life, and it's 8-hour workday, but 5 of those hours are meetings, and you're an intern. See like the meetings thing ends up happening organically as you get in more decision making roles. So like I have family who work in large corporations that are fairly high up, and like if they are allowed to work from home, they're on the phone all day. And it's one meeting after another because they're making important decisions and they have to go to different groups and coordinate and make sure that the developers are aligned with the marketing team or aligned with the CEOs.
I was the CTO of a rather large company for a while. That was my life. 80 hours, and then the company was based in London, well, the HQ. So being a New Yorker, I'd have to wake up at 4 a.m. every day.
Yep. And then you have to also make sure you can talk to the international audiences too.
And my team in China and the BMW Elevate project. So, it was just, you have no idea. Like, I didn't even see my kid trick or treat for first trick or treating. I'm done with that now. I'm a business owner and diversified. Now I have kind of flexibility, but there was a point where 90 hours plus, and I would go into the office only because I was kind of the only like top exec there, and because most of them are always in some other country. And same thing, like you said, death by meeting. I couldn't even get work done there because in the office everyone's just shoulder tapping me all day.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of interesting studies on how interruption affects the mind. They call it switch tasking.
Yep.
I had to go home by at least 2 to 3 p.m., then have a meal, work from home. My family and kids would get home about like 6, probably about 7. I'd hang out with them for 2 hours and go right back to work. Because at that time, my boss, the COO, were based in LA. So
Oh God.
bulk of my team was in London. My management was in LA. Imagine.
Yeah.
I can. I gave me
Went to bed at midnight, rinse,
shuddered actually.
repeat.
Yeah. The best boss I ever had, she's one of the executive manager, I guess is the title. There's like 6 of us she would manage. It got to the point where they had to bring they got a second one, so there's 2 of her. But she understood all of that, and she had a rule, and if you were able to copy her, it was fine. It's just really hard. This is how she got around all of that. If you wanted a meeting with her, and you had to have a meeting with her if you wanted to get anything done, you only had 15 minutes. Second rule, you had to find her. Doesn't matter. There's no sitting down. She's not going to break what she's doing. You have to go find her, and you need to still pitch her a pitch without disrupting her work. And I just thought that was so brilliant. And she always knew like how to kind of like take care of like the shortcomings of that. And like she would always have food. Always make sure we have food, like donuts, sandwich, like good food, like actual.
Sounds like a gremlin.
Yeah, seriously.
I like it.
All right, I need to interrupt here for a sec. Do you guys all know how to get into Spectrum?
Yes, sir.
So I would get into Spectrum and just see if the friend requests that I've sent you appear there and accept them. And it might take a minute or 2, but it does filter back over into Star Citizen, even if the Star Citizen friend system is down. And I managed to get an invite out to Nomad Mandalorian. Are you guys both friends with Nomad?
Negative.
Okay. Nomad, in your friend folder, you should see my invite to the lobby for Arena Commander. I can resend it if you don't.
I'm in Spectrum. The stand. I'm in Spectrum. Nothing yet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that service is down, but if you get lucky with that, that's awesome.
We've managed to bypass it when the friend service is down by just doing everything in Spectrum. You just have to wait for the server
Yeah,
to.
it must be a server replication in Spectrum. That makes sense.
Yeah. So if you do it in Spectrum, it takes about 5 minutes, sometimes 10. And what happens in Spectrum pushes into the game automatically, even if the stuff in game isn't working.
So that
So
leads me to believe Spectrum is the head. Okay.
yeah, database structurally that makes sense since most of the social interaction is going to happen on Spectrum anyway.
And it has less hits.
Yeah, so it's more stable.
Not getting calls all day. Yeah. So that would be my best one to have as the ledger.
So Justinius and Stanislav, if you're in Spectrum, just see if my friend request showed up there and accept it.
Yeah, not on Stanislav's end, not yet.
I wasn't even playing, but I just opened the launcher and it's like update. I'm like, oh, another one? Didn't we just update 2 days ago?
Yeah, there was another one that pushed out yesterday.
What is going on? I'm missing a lot. I've been not playing, sorry.
I assume they're running patches to help support CitizenCon to roll over the different lobby areas.
Another 15 gigs. Okay, 16.
Oh, that's big. Well, I think that's bigger than mine. Mine was 1.5 gigs.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's the point.
Okay. No, Matt, I do have you on my friends list, so I can send you a lobby invite whenever you're ready.
I'm not gonna join this one. What are you guys doing? You're doing the race, right?
Yeah, we're just racing.
What's your stream link?
My stream link's on YouTube. I see. I can call it up here. I've got a lot of windows open. I'm a bit of a Chrome tab monger here.
I just opened up streaming chat, and the last message is "Watch comms, y'all." From Hobby. Typical.
Did he send that to us here?
It's a different day. It was on the 17th.
Oh, okay.
Just makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, while we're doing this, I should make sure that I can see the text chat.
Nomad, how was your weekend, man? Still there, Mando? Are you, been 2 children and a wife? Yeah, 2 children and a wife.
What is going on here? Okay, so my chat console is working in OBS, so anything that people type in chat, I'll be able to see on the stream. And all right, so Justinius and Stanislav, have you had any luck yet?
I'm not gonna play tonight.
Okay, so who is
not yet.
Okay, so it's just Stanislav and Nomad. You're not playing either, or you?
Nomad hasn't been responding. Usually it's because he has a newborn and a very young child as well.
Yeah, we just had my sister just had her kids over at my house, and it was wild.
So like he'll go from totally involved and invested to I gotta go right second, and then just disappears. I get it. I've been there.
All right, so I'm just trying to get Stanislav in then.
Yes.
Okay. But Spectrum is Stanislav. You haven't seen my Spectrum friend request yet, I take it.
Negative.
All right, let me see if I can go kick something on my side to make it, I don't know, make a candy bar fall out of this stupid thing.
We could just keep joining USA servers and hope we get lucky.
Yeah, that doesn't. In my experience, that's just an exercise in futility.
Eh.
I would agree with that.
That's like saying, yeah, you can
I
push your
started
car.
to think.
Go,
Sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was starting to like think in my brain what the statistics on the odds of that would have been, and I just started, it got so big that I was like, yeah, no.
All right, it seems like I can't send you a friend request anymore in Spectrum. It just errors out.
But wait, the amount of people playing is probably low, so it's the probability.
Very high.
Yeah, I forgot about that. This game is actually really struggling. They're struggling for money, big time. And the servers they're using aren't even like good priority gaming servers. It's a whole fucking mess.
And we're about to
sorry.
hit 5 million players finally.
I didn't know Cloud Imperium was struggling financially. My understanding is they were sound.
They are now,
mean-
but they've been struggling the first 3 quarters of this year. But now they're fine.
You have to put on, as a business, you never actually are going to let anyone know you're struggling. Like a wounded ship is just someone's ability to walk in and get you for next to nothing, or their term sheet much cheaper, right? So like no one's ever going to portray that, but there have been really obvious signs.
Rushing the turbulent games deal from next year to now is a really big one.
There's a ton of them, and there's so many lately to where I've been overwhelmed by it. I'm like, oh, they're close to broke.
There's also internal memos that,
Especially being a tech guy.
yeah.
When you see certain things happening, you're like, oh crap, they really need.
I'm trying to think of who may you have on our friends list that's mutual that we could join on.
I'm getting really frustrated with this crap.
This game be like that.
Yeah, I've got.
We all are victims of Stockholm syndrome. Thanks, Chris Roberts.
I wouldn't call it Stockholm syndrome.
I mean, we are tortured.
I guess I don't have a rebuttal for that.
And why is there this new thing showing up called hotfix? Investigating.
What the hell?
It's a test server to see if the changes they make are ready for live or if they're going to break the game more.
This
It only took 10 years.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna reset my client just for a second here and see if that somehow fixes it. I'm gonna spend a half an hour of the 2-hour block I have reserved just troubleshooting things.
It'll happen.
Let me
Kill
see if my
ourselves,
research
yep.
guys are online. I'll go ask them if the what's going on with this.
Your research guys?
Yeah. I
That's
pay people in this game in-game salary to just know things and figure stuff out and test stuff. Data.
Oh, okay.
And ooh. Nope.
So you guys got a read on what's going on with Elite Dangerous too, or are you strictly focused on Star Citizen?
I have no dog in that fight. I just
Same
haven't
here.
looked into it.
I will never touch Elite Dangerous ever again. To me, I liked it. I was really into it when it was in, but to me, that is just space taxi.
Yeah.
It's a very boring game loop. There's nothing to it. There's no substance. It's beautiful looking. It is worked well, but yeah, I'm good. One of the worst games.
All right. For some reason, the game soundtrack started playing this time. I just noticed that it hasn't been the whole time I've been talking to you guys. So maybe that's a good sign.
I'll be right back in a few seconds. We go check in with them.
All right, I've got good frames. Everything else is looking okay. All right, so Justinius, you're not trying to play, right?
Not right now, no. I've had a long weekend.
Okay.
Not trying to use my brain for much right
Cool. I'm gonna click out so that the game soundtrack isn't drowning all the audio from you guys out until at least until we start racing. Actually, maybe I should just. Yeah, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna just kill the music. Or at least dial it way down. There we go.
You into cars at all?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see on the live stream, but I have a transmission disassembled in the background.
I don't. Where did you put your link?
Oh, that's right. That's what I was hunting for. I was chasing down a issue with the text
wait,
relay.
I think I saw someone else link you live. I think you are live. Yeah, I found it. Let's leave.
That might be to an expired stream, but that will get you to my channel, and
Nope,
you should.
you're live. I see it. Looks like you have a server rack behind you.
No, that's actually a 20-ton hydraulic press, and then the transmission's on the table behind that.
The hell do you do?
Well, just hobbies. I had a lot of money saved up, and I've just been living off of my savings. So.
Awesome. I was doing the same thing at my house, but then I just went through a nasty divorce. So
I've never been
I don't
married.
have all that great shit anymore. That's awesome, man.
So
I love to do stuff like that. I was like restoring wood tables, doing all kinds of electronic projects, 3D printing stuff. I love that. That's great.
how are things going up there, Stanislav?
Yeah, it's broken.
The whole thing is down. Okay.
This server is, yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
So we're not. Let me try from Spectrum one more time, because I guess if it wasn't working in Spectrum, it's not going to work now.
How tough is your hydraulic press?
That's 20 ton.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, I had to get it because the bearings on that transmission have to be pressed on, and you can't sheet.
What kind of transmission? What is it for?
It's a Polaris Ranger 570.
Oh, it's a small boy. Okay.
Yeah, it's the little boy, but the transmission's still, the same size as the engine. It's kind of.
I mean, all of those things are just.
But the cool thing about it is the transmissions don't need any power input. In fact, they don't need hydraulic pressure. The whole gear train just runs in a pool of hydraulic oil. So
Sounds like a diesel motor. That's crazy to me.
They're really simple, and there's no direct connection to the motor at all. Everything comes into the belt.
Huh.
So the transmission actually sits like normally when you've got an engine that sits on top of a transmission, it has a direct connection interfacing to the flywheel. But the Polarises don't do that. The flywheel is built into the belt assembly, and everything drives the belt. And then the belt drives the transmission.
That's crazy. It's like a snowmobile.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because Polaris was originally just a snowmobile manufacturer, so side-by-sides use a lot of the same tech.
Oh, so you're working on a side-by-side training. Yeah, that I forgot. I don't know the exact models, but that makes sense.
Yeah, the 570 is, like, you go to a college campus and you see...
Everyone rolls those.
They're... Well, I mean, the Polaris Ranger predates the Razor.
Yeah, the Ranger's the more boxy one.
Yeah, but the reason why they made the Razor is because the Ranger, people realized it's actually a really good off-roader. Like, a really good off-roader for its power and weight. It's like the Suzuki Samurai effect. You just build it really small, really light, and really simple. And it doesn't really matter how good the suspension is. If you've got the ground clearance, you can take it just about anywhere. And
yeah, and the torque. Yep.
And that's what all of those platforms are built around. Because when they built the Ranger, they were thinking, hauling a little cow trailer around a farm field, bucking hay, like light duty, low speeds, which, as it turns out, is not too bad for off-roading. I mean, put it in 4 low, and you can crawl up just about anything.
I mean, I've used a lot of Polaris products. My family has had property in like far north Adirondacks country, and yeah, like we got around in the winter. You have to use steel or a really capable car, and then for the most part, anything even outside of that, you're on. For the most part, like we come in our cars, parking, and then boom, ATV, thing else, and almost all of them were Polaris, so I know them well. Great products, but oh man, I do have my gripes too, though.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Polaris is their whole argument for effectiveness was that they were cheaper than a Jeep. Like you could walk into a dealer and for 20 grand you could get something really good. You couldn't get it registered.
Oh, not anymore.
But now, yeah, especially the new Razors are more expensive than a base model Bronco or Jeep. Like you can walk into any dealer in the country.
Not the newest ones, but I could probably get a used Jeep Cherokee, whatever, and mod it out for less than a side by side.
Yeah. Well, when you mod it out, the advantage goes away. But the thing is, it's like you talk about practicality. Most people can only afford to have one car toy. And
hey, Dry, send me another.
Send who another invite?
Mando.
Nomad Mando. All right. Should I send that to you through Spectrum or through the game?
Whichever.
Okay, I'll send it through the game first.
Oh, you're in the menu.
Oh, I can see you. I can invite you directly to the lobby.
Yeah.
So do you have anybody watching your stream?
One concurrent viewer, but I'm pretty sure it's someone.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I'm so new at this, the algorithm doesn't send me anybody. So.
But you have almost 2K subscribers. Interesting.
I know, right? It's like what. You know, I'm trying to get people from other games to watch, so I've kind of drifted away from Elite Dangerous temporarily to try to court Star Citizen and Nuclear Option and a couple of other like smaller indie titles that have caught my attention over the last couple months. But for whatever reason, like only my Elite Dangerous content gets a lot of attention unless I say something really controversial in Star Citizen. Like
it's crazy.
Star Citizen is warming up. That's apparently controversial. You should read the comments on that video. There's a bunch of people who still think Star Citizen's a scam. And I don't know how that opinion is still as popular as it is.
I mean,
Because
no one runs a scam for 10 years. Sorry.
Well,
they would have cashed out already.
Yeah.
The
I'd have been on
alternative
the
is
Caribbean
admitting you were
island,
wrong.
brother.
Well, the alternative is admitting they were wrong after they've given all of their investment back. And if you go on the Star Citizen refund subreddit, ever since IAE and all the new footage, they are just attacking each other because one's like, were we wrong? And the other one's like, no, shut up, we weren't wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just they're having a meltdown over there.
They're like there's a lot of like
guys, this isn't that much money. I mean, I guess for people who went and bought all kinds of, thousands of dollars in chips, yes. I didn't do that, so I don't feel like I feel bad about it.
Put this in perspective. IE's been going on how many days now? Since Friday.
Yeah.
And they've already made $3 million. They've already made $3 million.
I bet they did. See,
yeah, but you know what that is in server costs? That's like a couple months.
Yeah, but a lot of name something else.
Money.
Name something else that makes that much money in 3 days. That's the problem.
I could tell you some girls only fan.
Yes, but nothing can accumulate to some only girls fan business wise. Like unless you have a girl that's like, what's her name? The Catch Me Outside girl.
There's that teacher. There's that teacher who made like
and that teacher, yeah, but you got to remember, like, no, she only made, I think it was like $1 million the first hour because it broke the internet. Like this OnlyFans service went down.
I think there's just one item that sold on World of Warcraft that made more money than most games have ever made in terms of profitability. Like, if that gives you an idea.
No, I agree. But look how long World of Warcraft has been out though. And they have a subscriber base, so that game is still making money monthly compared to games that you buy once and that's it. Like this game is on a whole nother level. Don't get me
But
wrong.
then you have people hating microtransactions, and I'm just like, dude, you can't
They can hate
tell
it.
a
They can,
business not to make money.
yeah.
Stop.
They can hate it all they want. It's the way of the future, unfortunately. Once microtransactions came into the first game, they saw the profit margin. They were like, all right, from now on, this is the only thing we.
Yeah, look at Fortnite.
You want a game that's microtransactions, then they're usually playing those free-to-play games that die out in like 3 months max. So they got to chill with that bullshit.
Well, I mean, Fortnite's still alive, and it still has a massive active player base, which just blows my mind.
I know, but it's microtransactions that keep it alive. If you didn't have microtransactions, it would have died out.
Also, like, Rust is another game like that, where the game had like a small footprint in the beginning, and now there's more people playing it than ever, and it's really bizarre because I never thought that would happen. I thought that game would have done.
Also, is because that game has microtransactions and they keep wiping the servers, and you could we could all make the same armor, but we pay for the cosmetics to make it look different.
I mean, I have given them my money. Not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, like stuff like that. We're all building the same type of walls, except you want a wall that says anarchy on it, or you want a wall that has a spaceship on it.
But
It's the
Call
same
of
wall.
Duty, I've never spent any money on any skin or anything. They will not get a dime of my money. For
That's
like
another great
grade A company of billions of dollars to provide just crap development. They're not get. I'm getting the bare minimum. When their stuff goes on sale, I might touch it. Might.
Well, I blame everybody that fed into the money hunger that company had, because they used to produce amazing games and then they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stopped.
Who buys pre-sales now? Like, come on.
And it's like, all right, so
and
what's
then
the
they
point?
get mad.
Yeah, they get mad. Well, that's what happens, because it's like people that are talking all this shit are the ones that built this. I mean, the only people that complain about microtransactions and
Oh, Nomad, by the way, we're streaming. Just
oh,
FYI.
even better.
Yeah.
I'm about to get you a shit ton of people views.
We've only got one person watching, and he's in the chat right now. So
all right,
we're not
well,
like
this stays recorded, right?
But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and you're not wrong about that guy. And he drives fancy cars, and he's single, in case there's any eligible bachelorettes out there.
Oh yeah, drives Porsches, loves all y'all.
He lives fast, he drives fast, and he eats ass.
And that's what I did all weekend, actually.
There you go. So perfect example, Star Citizen. Oh, you could buy your ship. You don't have to buy your ship. You could buy it in game. Okay, cool story, bro. Why does it bother you that I bought it with IRL money?
the typical screech is pay to win, but I don't buy that at all. Like pay to win is
me. Exactly.
What do you mean who? I don't mind that anyone owns a ship. I've been waiting on a good sale to get my C2. That's probably the only ship I'm gonna buy.
No. I'm not calling any of you out, but I'm saying most people that are crying online about it's a pay to win game.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I'm always like, what's pay to win about it? I could buy the ship, right? Okay. Can I buy it in game? Okay. So you're broke
Well,
ass.
it's definitely pay to win in like Call of Duty, because if you don't, you have to grind so hard to get these.
We're not calling.
I'm
we're
just
not
saying as
talking,
an example.
Yeah, for Call of Duty, yes. For the skins, especially with that one skin that made you green and no one could see you. Yes,
Star
I
Citizen,
understand.
not the case.
Not
I
the
know
case
how to
at
make
all.
money.
Exactly. In Star Citizen, me having a 600i and you working up to buy a 600i doesn't make the game easier for me. I still have to put up with the same bullshit. You would. Except now, you have this dream goal of getting to a 600i. I now have a dream goal of maxing out all my ships with freaking parts that I want for them. Let's call them systems.
Do a few jobs for me, and I can get you all the chips and money you need.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, most people are complaining that it's a pay to win because I want to wake up, turn on the game, and have my 600i already in my inventory.
No, that's just because one is to save you time. Two, people could join an org. I'm not saying, like, if those people wanted to join an org and get an org salary, they could. But they don't want to look too much into the details and see what all the options are. You just don't want our time is limited. If you have the ship you want and this is what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. And then the other part of that is some people might not have the direct in-game money to even be able to afford the said ship that they have on the roster. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like that's another fun fact. Unless they go on eBay and buy a bunch of credits, they might have 2 or 3 runs. If something goes wrong, all of their starting credits could be washed up unless they put the
Hours
return
upon
on
hours. Yeah.
credits bought from CIG is not a good return on investment if you ask me.
So I stay with my statement again. Usually the people that are complaining about the cost of ships and all that are just, I don't want to seem like an asshole, but it's like if you're complaining that I'm spending, let's say, $250 for a shipping game, usually the thought process behind that is they don't have the type of money to spend to buy that ship, which is okay. I'm not saying you have to be rich to play this game, but
No.
usually that's the underlining issue, which I don't care about, unfortunately, because I'm living my life, I'm paying my bills, I'm going through my struggles as well. So if I
Dude,
want to
if we
spend my
want this
money
to
on that,
be a real thing, that's the real thing in the real world. There's gonna be
exactly,
people who have more money than you. Get used to it. That's just the
exactly.
real world.
The
So
problem is
you know what you
they
do
want
is you
video
get
games to be that
creative
fantasy.
and you fucking figure it out.
Yeah, but people
Like,
want the video game to be the fantasy of, oh no, everyone has to go through the same struggle as me. Like, okay, dude, that's cool and all, but like,
This ain't socialism.
nope.
I've
And I tell them
put
all the time, if you don't buy the weed and don't buy the liquor going out
Yeah.
to bars, oh my gosh, look at that. You just made the money pop out of nowhere. Whoa, 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 I don't want to do that. Then shut the fuck up and sit down. Like,
This isn't Star Trek game. We all don't have just unlimited resources.
yeah.
we
Apparently.
could also I could tell you what happened to me. I mean, people could achieve things too. Like I have my $45 pledge cutter, and CIG, we've done so much work for the community and made this game so much money that they've like rewarded, like they gave us a concierge status, which is like we've been given donations from across the community from the stuff we've done. We've even been given pledged ships, like Hornets, arrows. My prize, my pride, what is it? Pride and joy is a phoenix that was gifted to me by the guy who helped us get started. But like that might be atypical, but that's something that can happen, and I've never seen that in this game, in any other game but this rather. And if they took the time to really just kind of see what this community is about, give back to it, invest in it, and just kind of just find chill people to play with. Really, it's not pay to win. That's what I learned.
It's not. I tell people all the time, you can buy the biggest ship in the game. Cool. Now what? You still need people.
Yeah,
You still need. It's. You can be a single player in this game and you'll survive. It'll get boring after a while if you're getting gangbanged everywhere you go. Or you can make friends with an orc. You can join an
Yeah.
orc, or just be cool with people. But they're not used to that. They don't have that mindset because they've been enclosed to. I don't want to sound like a dick here, but console games where the worlds aren't this big, the multiplayer isn't this diverse.
hey,
I can't think of what happened.
oh, it's just saying hi to CPT Mercer. We are streaming. This is live, but the Star Citizen friend server is down, so we're having trouble forming a lobby. You might just have to. I think what we'll end up doing is just racing on our own in light fighters, and that'll just probably have to be the activity at this point.
Yeah.
Just boot up your favorite light fighter and race in a online or offline lobby. It's up to you.
And also try to swear as much as you can.
Well,
Too easy.
let's
Fuck, shit, ass.
let's just be a little careful because it is YouTube, and you never know what's going to get
Okay.
you blown out. I don't think
So,
swearing
like,
by itself will do that, but I'm not going to monetize the stream, so that
Yeah.
does take a lot of the heat off.
So going back to what we were talking about earlier, like most people are used to games like Grand Theft Auto, where you put in a code and you get the special Ford Explorer or the Durango SUV cop version because they're all playing that simulated cop, right? Star Citizen, you got Cuddy Blues for that. You have the Scorpius and Terry's. You have all these other vehicles for you to do bounty hunting to chase down criminals. Then you have your Freightliners. You have all these people that are just moving around. They're just playing a space truck simulator. Then you have people that are PvPing, people that are mining ore, Montanium, jewels, all that.
Balta Loda.
People that are transferring
We're gonna
drugs.
rise up.
So it's like, what the heck? This game you could do ship on ship, ground on ground, vehicle versus vehicle. Like,
Yeah, but you know what we're missing is like space lizards, port lizards. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
hell yeah, that'd be coming up soon. I don't know. I hope once they get like the wildlife in here, you're
If
just
they're
gonna.
trying to
working
put
on
us to, if they're trying to make us use the bathroom, they need to have prostitutes. Sorry.
There is. That's a planned feature, as is, you know, what you do with those folks, and it's at the Vegas system. It's basically Vegas, but planet.
Want
Like-
her ass. Sorry.
Where was the show going on at?
New Babbage.
Babbage
Babbage.
Talon Expo Center.
My question to you is though, what ratings this game?
This game is it's at the moment unrated. It's between M and A. The fact that it is, if they put intercourse in, it goes right to A. But the fact that they have realistic drugs makes it an A technically by international standards, which is why I'm pretty sure they're going to cut that content.
Yeah, but you can't smoke it. You can't use it.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's in the game. It's a realistic portrayal. That's why in like Fallout or Call of Duty, it's all these crazy needle pack things, and it's not realistic. Or like hypos or like inhalers.
They have
They
it-
actually
yeah,
have. No, yeah, exactly. But that's not realistic. That's fine.
Okay.
The international law specifically states you can't have realistic portrayals of drugs in the video game unless you want it to be an A. And I don't actually know if that's the way they want to go, because they want kids to be able to play this game, which I don't know about that one, you know.
I don't know either because I think the way they have maze, I don't know. I'm not a subject matter expert on international law about drugs and video games, but
Me neither.
the way they have maze, I don't think they should be running into problems. But don't quote me on that, because I've seen Grand Theft Auto where they have mountains of cocaine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
I love
okay.
GTA.
I've
And,
had it torn.
Favorite game in terms of just like saying fuck everyone. I love
Yeah.
that they're from New York and they just put out products that just tell everyone deal with it.
Shit. For example, microtransactions, pay to win. Look at Grand Theft Auto. You can pay to win all you want. Doesn't mean you're gonna win.
No, I'll still come and smack the crap out of you. That's what I love about GTA.
Well,
Exactly.
with one exception, they did have that orbital laser thing in GTA Online that felt
Yeah, that got abused.
that,
But imagine Grand Theft Auto made Star Citizen. Oh my god, I'm getting hard, sorry.
Dude, we would have never gone into space. We'd literally be at New Babbage making our way through the 300th hooker.
But seriously, I'd still probably be having fun.
Yeah.
I
The
I
PvP
kind of
would be way crazier.
I kind of think
Customizing things, like there's just so much complexity to it. And then the latest new GTA is it's so cool how they're utilizing AI and a lot of what's going on there. It's really great. Rockstar Games has definitely made the 10 years worth it.
And I just hope they never get sued because they are the last standing. Fuck what everybody else is doing. We're making our own type.
And their own engines, everything.
yeah, I think that basically means that the only studios running custom engines now are Star Citizen, Bethesda, and
That was a good run, whoever just crashed. Was that you, Stan? And yeah, you're right. Bethesda and who else?
Star
No,
Citizen.
I'm still trying to get in.
Dry Heat's just running in an offline just to put some eye candy on the screen while we
So
talk.
that nice run, man.
Thanks. This is basically what I do in Star Citizen right now. I
Are
don't.
you dual stick?
No, I'm actually using a traditional HOTAS. I run a set of Verpals.
Oh, those are good.
Oh.
So your throttle and
Yeah, I have a full. I
do
could
you
probably.
have pedals?
Yeah, I've got everything.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm missing my pedals right now. I'm gonna go get them like tomorrow. I was actually supposed to get them, and then I ended up going upstate and just driving around the whole weekend, essentially, racing my car. Down
It's-
amazing routes.
Super easy to get Verpals if you want them. They've got a U.S. store now. You don't have to have them imported from Belarus anymore.
No, I have a Cytec X52 set up that I'm okay with. It's fine. But if I had the pedals, I feel like I could just add a little bit more spice to it.
Sorry, I'm checking out this things. I've never seen it before.
Never seen what? Can you clarify?
The event that they have going on.
Oh yeah, dude. Conventions in this game are actually legit. Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
There's an event happening.
He's talking about he's never been to an actual event like the IE.
I don't think there's ever been a video game that's fully modeled a convention center like that before.
That was the same place you crashed last time, wasn't it?
I keep running into the girders on the run over the
Same
gates.
exact one though. That was funny.
Yeah. You'll find that happens a lot in racing.
No, that's how it works in real racing too.
You'll end up baking in muscle memory incorrectly for a turn, and you end up
Done.
yeah.
Bye.
You spend the whole night.
I race cars a bit, so like I get it. That's what made me laugh a bit.
I just usually turn left and right a lot to go straight.
And then they've modeled like not just one convention center, but like 4 or 5. It's weird. It's crazy. That's how I started in this game. And then I went to the real life convention, so that was surreal. And here we are at the next IE.
I was gonna check it out last night, but I ended up having to do the update. For some reason it was taking forever. But I just was like, I'll let it finish and I'll go tomorrow.
I got a crazy story I would love to share with you guys. So like I did one of those ancestral DNA tests and I covered a cousin that my family didn't know existed because one of my uncles secret child was up for adoption. She's quite an amazing person. Owns this like really cool, awesome farm not far from the city here, and I went. She breeds horses, bunnies, it's like a petting zoo. It was amazing. Sorry if you guys haven't experienced that. I had like a whole day Saturday hanging out with like 20 different species. Animals on the farm.
I used to
So
work.
cool.
I've worked cows before.
No cows.
I didn't
But
do it
they're
very long.
Smart.
A horse is a 5,000-pound dog.
Pretty much, yeah, that's what I was saying.
They've even got a sense of mischief. Like they know how to mess with you. We were out.
Can we say this on stream? They are assholes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm not too worried about farm words. Occasionally, I just what we want to avoid
They taste amazing if you ever eat them.
Horse.
What horse?
Yeah.
I hated it. I've hated every iteration of horse meat that I've ever had personally, and I've eaten snake, I've eaten frogs, you name it. I've eaten it. Like I did not like horse. I like bear though. Figure that out.
I've had a lot of different things.
Oh,
that
this
are
is
weird,
cool.
But the only way I was fed a similar animal to a horse was through this restaurant called like Dine in the Dark in London, and it's where it's completely pitch black. You don't know what you're eating. All of the people directing you are blind, which is kind of awesome. And come out of there, and then they tell you what you eat, right? They fed me a zebra, or a zebra as you say here, but zebra in the United Kingdom. And it's a horse, if you ask me. But the way it was prepared, I had no clue. It tasted like
I mean, anything can taste good.
had a good wine sauce, man.
I don't know.
But then I was at a rugby match after, and my stomach just started burning because all I started thinking about was all these horses I grew up with and knew, and like how horrible I felt. It wasn't good.
See, that's just weird because
I didn't want to eat horse, man.
you ate a zebra. It's not it's a type of horse, but it wasn't the horse you trained and grew up with.
But yeah, I ate zebra.
Zebra are actually closer to a donkey than they are to a horse.
Thank you.
And I've been around donkeys too.
They're still intelligent as hell.
Yeah, they are. They're in the same. They're still considered
I would say
equestrian or
smarter.
something. Similar
That's why
intellect.
they call him a jackass.
the different disposition. Like a horse is a little more docile. Like if you raise a horse, it's not likely to go kill all of your other animals, but a donkey absolutely will unless you expose it to all the other animals on your farm really young. Like
I'd never heard that in a long time, and that's one of the truest things I've ever heard.
donkeys are vicious. Like you don't if a donkey has ever been wild, you don't let your kids near it ever. Because you don't know
Your
what
kids
it'll
will
do.
kick to death.
Won't you won't kick them to death. It will wrap its mouth around their throat and it will flip and rip it out in front of you. Donkeys will like lift animals they want to kill up in the air and swing them around like rag dolls with their mouths.
Yeah, because their necks are so strong.
I don't mess with anything that has hooves.
I
I just give it respect and space is my philosophy, and try not to interact with it.
I agree with you 1,000,000% on that. You guys ever see that video of like these really bad breeders breeding these two horses, and the one horse jumps up and throws a kick to the stag that was about to breed with it, and just instantly dies?
Yep. No, actually, I haven't seen that.
I've seen it. It's horrible.
It's like one of the examples of like the worst breeding examples ever. Like if you're a horse breeder, like they're the example of like how horrible things could be. And that's insane because that was like a couple $1 million stamped out right there.
Sorry. I'm getting over this cold. There'll be no Mickey Mouse tonight.
So I live next to I call it a hobby farm. The person who runs it doesn't sell the animals. She mostly just keeps them as pets. So she got a ton of chickens, these big white dogs, and then a turkey and some goats, and then a giant pig. Like the pig's the biggest animal in there.
Oh yeah.
Turkeys are kind of crazy. So if you hand raise a turkey, it starts to think of itself as like a person, and it starts to see people as part of its flock. So it doesn't have any fear of man, but it also attempts to assert its dominance in the social chain, and it ends up making the turkey really aggressive.
I mean, I get why Ben Franklin said that, and I also get why the German English translation is, what is it? Turkey is called a threatening chicken.
Well, they'll jump on you. Like so this turkey.
Ben Franklin wanted the turkey to be our national bird.
I thought he wanted the osprey.
At least you got it. Stan got what I was talking about.
Until it attacked him.
Until everything changed.
So we've got this turkey, and we've got.
And then we see the Peter Griffin fight scene with the bird.
That's the chicken though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you get it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So, we're building a house right now. Like my parents bought this old farmhouse that was distressed.
I'm building a house right now. That's funny.
And we're working on fixing it up. And we figured we'd renovate it, but as we started peeling off the walls and the roof, we started finding bad stuff like just rot. And we wound up tearing the whole house all the way down to just the outer walls are left, and putting an entire new roof on it. And we're going to end up tearing the floor and all the floor joists out once we get through Christmas. And it's probably it's like we may as well have built a house from the ground up by the time we're done with this thing.
Yeah. My brother had to do that recently. It's sad. Because in New York City, there's this like weird code with the building. If you buy a building in New York and you go past X amount of bricks on the building, it's considered a new construction. So my brother-in-law,
Oh, this is cool.
He got down to literally the last brick. So he avoided that whole thing, right? It wasn't considered new construction. But if you were to like look at it, see like the tiny wall that was still standing that were considered to be not new construction, you'd be like, no, that's a whole new building, which it is. But oddly, nothing scary about stuff that we're seeing now. Like you see these buildings collapsing, things happening, bridges suddenly. a lot of stuff has gone pretty shady for a while that we haven't monitored, and the same thing is happening all over in these cities. My brother in his building in the city, the entire block that he was on was leaning on his building. So it wasn't until he had engineers figure it out, like if he were to deconstruct it, like, or the whole block would have like just pancaked over. What I mean?
Pancaked or dominoed?
Yeah, domino, definitely. Like if you get what I mean, if they just all shifted to the right. If their sister wasn't next to them to the right and they were drunk, they just fell to their right side. Which is scary, because there's people's businesses, thousands of lives just there, all being held up by one strong building at the end of the block. That's a lot of these cities, a lot of our bridges.
New York
Something
is...
to think about, brother. That's
York-
everywhere.
New York's become a story that pisses me off. I actually follow Louis Rossman's YouTube channel, and he like he lights those guys up on a regular basis. Because not only did they run him out of the city, but he dissolved all of his business entities in New York and reformed them in Texas. Moved everybody and as many of employees as he could out there with him, and he still gets bills in the mail from those guys. Like, they've tried to fine his Texas business the other day for not having a New York workers' compensation plan.
I can't get in a reclaimer.
Oh!
Let's change camera perspectives here. Wow. The Tavaran fighter looks awesome on the rear camera.
That ship is cool.
What shit?
Mine right now. It's the alien one, right?
I'm flying the Tavaran, I can't remember what it's called.
Talon?
The Talon, that's right. I'm just flying the
What?
base
I
model
love-
Talon.
I
thought
love
you were-
that ship.
I thought you were flying the new one.
No, I don't have that yet. It's they won't unlock that to Arena Commander for a while. It's
Well, I'm
also
kind of bummed.
really big. Like I can't remember what the new Banu ship is called that they just released, but it's big. It's got a cross section so thick that it's gonna struggle to fit through the checkpoint gates on a lot of racetracks.
New Banu one. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
The new Banu fighter, I can't remember what it's called.
Defender?
Not the Defender. I guess it's not a fighter. The starter ship that they just came out with.
If you rent a ship, how long do you have it?
It says
You're
3
talking-
days, but they went in a long time ago and made it so that you have it until they do a wipe.
You're talking about the
Oh, that's
Gatac.
kinda nice.
Gatac.
Oh,
New
well-
alien ship that just released, the one with the
Yeah.
apartment complex in it. The Gatac.
Yeah, the vertical launch one. So
Yeah.
it flies with its biggest cross section facing outward, and that's a bit of a problem if you want to do any kind of combat or racing, because some of the, like Snake Pit, for example, if you race anything that's more than 2 stories tall through these checkpoint gates, you start running into situations where you hang up your wings or your various extremities on hard objects. So that the Tavaran fighters are flat enough that you can do 45 turns and the long wings aren't as big of an issue. But I can't, for example, roll sideways like this and reliably make it through any of the checkpoint gates. Because if I clip a wing, it's going to spin me out and I won't be able to control my turn anymore.
But do you want to be right round, baby, right round?
Depends on how the ship's configured. The Tavaran fighter's got enough thrusters that it handles just fine in a 45. But some of the human ships, think like the P-72, the P-52,
Nice
They're-
save.
they're designed to roll and pull. So if you're in a ship that has, for example, its best maneuvering characteristics along the pitch axis, then the only way you're going to make some of these tight turns is to go full 90, pull, and boost. And if you've got long wings, that's a problem because you basically have to be perfectly centered and not clip anything like I just did.
Yeah, you make one minuscule mistake with that thing, kind of done with those long wings.
And now I'm in a tailspin and I can't even correct it. Like, that wasn't for show.
Oh, and I called that. Wow. It's such a cool looking ship, though.
It is. I really like the art style for these things.
Beautiful.
And it also has one of the best maneuvering profiles of all the PvP light fighters. It's right up there with the Arrow and the Gladius.
I just hope they put some physics in where like these larger like spawning parts of the ship kind of provide some sort of ballistics protection. You know, something like that, where it's not just a complete hit point to the whole structure, where those outer throng things are actually taking some of the brunt of these things.
I don't know what the plan's going to be, but I mean, kind of...
They're advantageous, so honestly, the less they take on, the more I hope for something being...
I think if they do anything with these like feather tendrils that stick out, it's going to be to make them twist and contribute to the aerodynamics.
Yes, and make us go ooh and ah. But I'm more interested in the physics and scientifics.
I've never been on a reclaimer before, so I rented it.
Who is that? You have a reclaimer now? Merker?
Yeah.
Nice. There's so many people in the org. They could have just like. But how much was it?
0.
Oh, it was free fly or something.
Yeah.
I rented it, and I don't know how long I'm gonna have it for.
24 hours.
Gotcha. So I'll get to fly it once.
Oh, I've got a low bitrate warning on the stream. I'm going to pause here and try to fix that.
You're gonna like the the reclaimer. Isn't it one of the larger ships, one of the fastest ships in the game? I thought that's it.
I don't know. I was wanting to get in it, and they wouldn't let me in it.
The Reclaimer's a brick. I mean, the Redeemer?
The
That one's
Redeemer.
fast.
No, they're one of the largest ships in the games. Goes way faster than most of the ships in this game, and it fucking
In
super good.
space?
They all laugh about it. Yes, in space, not Atmo, obviously.
No, yeah, in space, it's one of the most fun you'll ever have in this game if you have some boys with you.
Why is my bitrate low?
Because you have a razor seat.
It was fine a minute ago, and now it's low. I'm wondering if I screwed up a setting somewhere, or...
Stream looks fine.
It looks
Probably
fine,
their
but
end.
it's running on a delay for quality. So it might not look fine here in a second.
Probably their end. If you're not on fiber and you're on a coax, then it's just...
Oh, yeah, it fixed itself. I didn't do anything, and now it says it's excellent. Okay, so I guess we're back to it. I'm going to switch fighters, though. Because there's a couple of different ones that are... Like, I can show you what a roll and pull looks like if you've never raced something like... let's... Actually, I want to stick to the light fighter theme. The Arrow is actually a ship that likes to roll and pull. So we'll do that. Oh, that's online. I guess I'm racing online today for this next one. I meant to start an offline match around the snake pit, but I guess we'll just do this instead. The Arrow's actually no slouch. You'll struggle against dedicated racing ships in a skills equal situation, but a lot of people who race in online mode are actually not that good.
3, 2, 1, go.
So here in it,
I'm kind of excited. I've never been in one of these.
The race. Checkpoint.
Sorry,
Checkpoint.
oh, you're good.
don't mind me.
Checkpoint.
The Arrow
Looks like-
feels heavier in the corners than the Tavaran fighters do.
Checkpoint.
And you have to be a lot more careful with your placement because it responds to the aerodynamics a little bit more as well.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
This thing is massive.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
So cool.
Checkpoint.
It looks like you're going so slow right now.
It does.
What I was doing this weekend? Oh my gosh. I was racing all over the place. It was just wonderful. And my car is a 2006 Cayman S, right? So it's not new or anything. So you still have like actual control of the car. And there's not all these computer systems that are going to come in and like tear up the experience in 2 seconds. And I just had so much damn fun.
Where'd you end up going?
So I have property upstate. I was up there for a bit, and then just the area for I grew up there for a little while, and they have like some of the most amazing roads. Like my cousin has a farm, breeds horses and all these other animals. Like I said earlier, I went to go visit. The elevation to go there made my ears pop 3 times
3,
just on the
1.
little route there, which is in this area of New Jersey called High Point. And it's not the craziest elevation, but the roads make it insane. You just are going straight up and then straight down. And they're just crazy turns. And if, if I were in my Jeep Grand Cherokee, it would not be fun.
Checkpoint.
I don't know if the stream's caught up to where I'm at right now, but I'm racing an M50 around the Sky City track. I think it's Old Vanderval. And I'm currently winning.
Heck yeah. One day I'll win a race.
So I've met a couple people who think that you have to have a racing ship to actually race, and you actually don't. The light fighters are pretty good. It really just comes down to, like, once you're in a light fighter, you've got most of what you need to win, and then the racing ships basically just take that and ramp it up even more.
The blue
Like
markers is how you know where to go.
I like the Archimedes as well. I just can't ask her. Talon's a good one.
The Arrow is no slouch in atmosphere either. I mean, I'm going faster than the Fury LX I think is capable of going if I can get a good long straight. But right here, this is where the roll and pull comes into its own.
Oh, that's cool.
The Arrow's actually really good at it. It's kind of understated.
What is this?
This is Star Citizen Racing.
No, sorry. I'm trying to figure out what this room is. There's 2 seats and like a funny thing in the front. Looks like you stand on it and it like shoots you out the top, but it don't look like it. I don't know. Dorsey. Drone room. There's a drone? Holy cow. It's like the room that Chewbacca just hits everything with a wrench and starts working.
I just lapped the guy in the M50.
I haven't even found the pilot seat yet. This is insane.
In the reclaimer, gotta take the elevator.
Elevator.
So,
Is it in the salvage hold or cargo
no,
hold?
it's on the habitation deck.
I'm on the habitation deck.
Then go on the opposite. So go the opposite end, all the way to the end, and then you'll see another elevator, and that one will take you down one level to the cockpit. Or go next to that floating. Wait, no, yeah, actually, yeah, take that elevator.
I don't see an elevator.
I'm pretty sure if you also go next to that floating sphere thing in the you should be able to have that. There's a ladder right next to it. You can take down.
Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay, go down. I found it.
Good job. Enjoy.
I'm probably gonna wreck. Never flown anything this big. Wow.
Actually, if you guys have never flown an arrow on a racetrack, one of the things you'll notice, like as you fly more and more ships, is that certain ones are more vulnerable to drifting on their lines, and the arrow actually holds its line really, really well. You don't need to trim it with your lateral thrusters very much to get it to line up with one of these gates. So in something like the Fury, you have to be on your laterals a little bit more to get everything just right. But this ship actually really likes it if you just fly it on the mains and ride the boost.
Guys, I have a work emergency I gotta run for. I'll catch you in a bit.
Please be well.
Is spaceborne not the liftoff anymore?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Ah, here we go, my home track.
Oh. Uh-oh. What happened?
Three, two, one, go.
Oh no.
Ooh, I got another guy in an arrow here with me.
It won't let me leave.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I'm wrecking. I'm wrecking. Oh, get smashed.
Uh-oh. Oh, nope, I couldn't save it. I ran out of maneuvering room.
Smashing it.
The thing that's deceptive about the snake pit is that it actually has a lot thinner atmosphere among the atmospheric tracks, so you've got more top end available than you do in places like Yadar Valley. Oh, chipped the
Did
inside.
the update change the key bindings?
I can't remember what ones it changed. Didn't change very many.
Because I couldn't use my controller for the ship. I didn't even make it out of the space station. I wrecked. Well.
Final lap. You are leading the race. Checkpoint. You have lost the lead. Checkpoint. You are leading the race. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. You have lost the lead. Checkpoint. You are leading the race. Checkpoint.
Does anybody else do the player versus player, like the Call of Duty style that they have on here?
Yeah. Did you see it when everyone was skeletons? That was hilarious.
You have lost the lead. Checkpoint.
It's a lot of. It can be a lot of fun.
You are leading the race. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
You guys will see this here in a second, but I'm giving this, I think it's a P-72, a real run for his money here.
Checkpoint. 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 Race complete. Second place.
He just barely beat me.
Direction.
Rangers in the PU.
I got to see what that time is.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're in the chat up there. If you wanted to join them,
They're in the what?
they're in the voice chat right above us.
Yeah, he got me first in podium, but I have a faster lap by a lot.
Dang.
So,
Still not bad.
now the fastest I've ever made it around the snake pit is like 40 seconds, somewhere around there.
Checkpoint.
I'm probably gonna jump up there with them. That way I'm not counteracting what you guys are doing.
Checkpoint.
No worries. We're here if you ever need anything. Please be well.
Yeah.
Checkpoint.
You too.
Wrong direction. Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Now it's just. Now then there were two.
Checkpoint. 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 Lap complete. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Just passed a Miss Grazer.
Checkpoint. 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 Wrong direction. Checkpoint.
Oh, now it says I finished first.
That's more like it.
Alright, I'm gonna take it back to menus and switch ships again. Client server version mismatch. Let's see if it lets me back in. That's usually the kind of error I would expect if they update the client while you're playing. Got anything else? What else have I got here in the light fighter category? Ah, the Buccaneer.
Oh, that's a good one.
It says it's a light fighter, but that its focus is interdiction. But
What about a Herald?
Harold's not a fighter; it's a data runner.
That's true.
The theme for tonight is it's got to say light fighter somewhere on its description. So
That's fair.
it says it in 2 places out of 3, so technically, I guess we'll say it counts.
That's solid logic right there.
Never actually raced a Buccaneer. Let's see what happens.
Go.
Ooh.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, this is another roll and pull, I can already tell.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
A little bit less on the accelerator. I don't know where Jablin's going. You got me all confused now.
Checkpoint.
He totally missed a gate,
Checkpoint.
so I'm racing a noob.
You are leading the race. Checkpoint.
I'll have you know I miss gates all the time, and I'm racing better.
Checkpoint.
I mean, he like completely like went off into the weeds somewhere. It's not that
Oh,
he
okay.
was trying to make a corner and blew it. It's that he didn't know where the next gate was.
Checkpoint.
Fair.
Oh, man, the Buccaneers really lackadaisical.
Checkpoint.
This is a thicker atmosphere map, so that's probably the main problem I'm having here. But it doesn't feel very good to fly. I'm going to turn the speed limiter all the way off. Just kind of see if I can coax some more out of it. Yeah, 262 is about where it tops out, and it just doesn't feel like it has any more to give.
Checkpoint.
Come on.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh man,
Lap.
that Origin is not even. It's just AFK. He's just here to farm
Checkpoint.
arena points. He's not even going to participate. He's just going to take his whatever it is,
Checkpoint.
standard reward.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh.
Checkpoint.
There is a little bit of aerodynamic snapback when you come out of a corner. Oh, I just hit something. If you're not watching for it, it will absolutely bugger your handling.
Checkpoint.
System destroyed.
Oh man, did I just... Yeah, I just ripped my wing off on it. Nope, I'm in a spin.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh gosh. Nope. How do I look from the... Oh, I'm on fire. Okay, that's not good.
Checkpoint.
Come on. I know you can make this turn.
Checkpoint.
Work with me here.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I know this is still controllable because the flight system isn't telling me I've got a major torque imbalance.
Checkpoint.
Oof. Another spin. Come on. Dig deep. Nope.
Checkpoint.
Keep that nose out of the dirt, old girl.
Final lap. You have lost the lead. Checkpoint.
Am I still going to win this race with a bad engine and a busted wing?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
You didn't need him anyway.
I know, but that's like, oh, here we go. Aerodynamic spin.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Oh, no, you don't.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Everybody else quit. Yeah, the Buccaneer feels a little gross.
Your systems are online.
The Aurora. I'm gonna take that one for a, we'll put that one in offline mode and just take it for a buzz around the snake pit. See what happens. I'm not expecting a whole bunch, but this ship's got atmospheric thrusters, which makes me wonder.
Enjoy the flight. 3, check. 2, 1, go. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I can feel some really weird aerodynamic effects already,
Checkpoint.
which surprises me in thin atmosphere like this.
Checkpoint.
Oh yeah, this is gross. This is worse than the Drake Buccaneer.
Checkpoint.
Oh man.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Checkpoint. System checked.
What does this look like from the outside?
Direction. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
How do I deploy?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
It's just not even going to let me deploy the VTOLs for whatever reason. Nope. It's so weak on the pull that
Checkpoint.
oh, it surprises me how bad all of the other maneuvering directions are. As bad as it is on the pull, it's worse on the yaw.
Checkpoint.
Oh, the roll has a ton of slop in it. If I go full back and forth, I got nothing.
Checkpoint. Lap complete.
I wonder, does VTOL mode help at all? No.
I already tried to deploy the VTOL thrusters
Oh
and
no.
it wouldn't let me.
Oh lord.
Which is weird because when I take the Valkyrie and the Drake Cutlass around these tracks, I'm able to deploy the VTOLs, but you have to have the landing gear down for some reason. I hope they don't bind those together in the nope. In the live game. You can brute force it around a corner if you ride that boost button, but as soon as you let it off, the aerodynamics start to snap it around, and it just makes the cornering feel like feels like a dump truck. Like I'm controls fully extended, full yaw, full
Like a
pull,
dump truck.
and it just starts to shimmy. Like it wants to ride back and forth on its own aerodynamic wake, and you can't steer. You're just fighting those controls all the way around a corner. Doesn't have any good aerodynamic flow whatsoever. Just feels like crap. Meanders like a drunk and handles like a bag of squirrels.
Handles like a friggin' steakhouse. Like a straight restaurant.
Feels like a steak with ketchup on it. That's what it feels like. Just not quite where it needs to be. Not even all the way there. Sturdy. I've bounced it off the ground a couple of times and didn't blow up. Oh man, I can't even. If you get a little bit out of alignment on a corner, it just beats you to death. What kills you is you run out of boost, and then you can't save a corner. Full pull, full laterals. I can make it hold the inside, but it hates it. Come on. If I can get the hang of this somehow, but it doesn't feel like something you can skill your way out of. I'll give it that. It's a brick. You can bounce it off a whole bunch of stuff and not die. Nope. Wow. Why did it stick to the line that time? There's nothing more to be gained from this. Don't even bother with the Aurora. It's a piece of crap around the racetrack. Let's see. That's the racing variant of the Gamma, so I don't want that. Here we go, Mustang Delta. That's a light fighter.
operational.
Three, two, one, go.
Yeah, someone's racing a Cutlass.
Checkpoint.
That can be fun. Just, oh,
Checkpoint.
God bless him.
he didn't make it. He hit a berm and bounced
Yep,
into one of
there
the.
it is.
Yeah, you saw it. just ate it. The whole thing all at
You
once.
can't make fun of him though. He tried.
Checkpoint.
It's a hard ship to fly around one of these tracks. I am thinking about doing a medium fighters night. And
I would do that.
the Cutlass is a medium fighter. Oh, I'm not paying attention.
Okay, okay. What about the 600i?
Is it listed as a medium fighter?
I doubt it.
Checkpoint.
I severely doubt it.
Checkpoint.
I think it's like luxury touring.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, the Mustang doesn't feel too bad. The racing variant has this really weird handling quirk where it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel anywhere near as good. This feels okay. Not good, not terrible.
Checkpoint.
I don't think I'm going to win this race,
Checkpoint.
but at least I'm going to enjoy losing.
Okay, that's the spirit.
Checkpoint.
The visibility is awesome.
Checkpoint.
Of all the starter ships, the Mustang still remains a top favorite of mine because the cockpit is so unobstructed.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I don't think I haven't tried the Mustang. I haven't tried. I think it's the Aquila, that Connie where you can actually see.
Checkpoint.
I gotta try those.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Wrong direction. Checkpoint.
Oh, I clipped my wing.
Destroyed.
What have I got? What have I got? Do I still have maneuvering thrusters? Feels like it. See if I can dig this one out. Ooh, I can feel that missing wing. Nope.
Checkpoint.
Oh,
Checkpoint.
no, it actually saved itself.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Oh, there's that missing wing. Wow. Nope.
Checkpoint. 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 Final lap. Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Ooh. Is that just a hint of G-lock?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
That's interesting. Even when damaged, the Mustang remains shockingly controllable.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
But I am riding those laterals around the corner.
Checkpoint. 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 Race complete. Third place. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All
Checkpoint.
systems operational.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Weapon
Oop.
systems destroyed.
Checkpoint.
Put it in cinematic mode here.
Wrong direction. Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Is that a cutter? It is. That was a cutter.
Checkpoint. 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 Lap complete. Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
All right. Let's see. Got about 10 minutes left. What else could I erase in the light fighter category that might be fun?
Furies?
The Ares?
The Furies.
The Fury's a snub fighter. Different class.
Oh, fair. I gotta really learn my classes and get that straight.
Oh, they've got the Gladius in here for 0 UEC. I don't know why I haven't noticed that before. I'll just go ahead and pick that up. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever flown a Gladius in Star Citizen yet, so this will be my first experience with her. I feel confident enough to just take it straight into a race. Let's see what it tosses me. Defford Link.
Aegis power system activated. Systems green.
Oh, it's gonna let me erase myself.
3, 2, 1, go.
Come on. All right.
Checkpoint.
Oh, that feels crispy. Beautiful,
Checkpoint.
beautiful cornering characteristics.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Slow on the roll,
Checkpoint.
but hard on the pull.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
It hugs a line though, just like the arrow.
Checkpoint.
You can really do some inside corner stuff, albeit at lower speeds.
Checkpoint.
Doesn't quite feel like it wants to settle into the same pace as the arrow does.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Yeah, definitely not as fast as the arrow.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
Also doesn't like the laterals very much in atmosphere.
Checkpoint.
But it does find some lines that you normally can't find in a racing ship because you're coming in so hot.
Checkpoint.
Turn the speed limiter all the way off.
Checkpoint.
Not even touching my laterals right now.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Yeah. Very forgiving, but not very fast.
Yep, gotta have a need for speed.
Yeah. I'd recommend it to a beginner just because the speeds are constrained, so you have more time to think about maneuvers and it keeps you from overshooting gates. But it's not gonna, like, against the arrow, I think the arrow can beat the Gladius pretty readily in a straight race. Well, I think that's it for tonight's stream. So
Well, I had a lot of fun.
I will thank all 9 people who tuned in for any period of time. I think we only had a max of 2 concurrent views. Did get some comments. Ranger 2/75th complimented me on my flying. Oh, cool. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.